Okay, it looks like we're recording, and I am just backing out on a roadhouse on Princes Highway in the greatest city of Geelong, a city which is the second biggest city in Victoria, the state in which I live. And I'm taking you to a really weird little place about which most people who live in either city know very, very little. It's a place called Avalon Beach. It's down past Avalon Airport. And there's some bumps there. The second airport of Melbourne. This is the one I prefer because it's closer to home and it's not as busy and crazy and expensive as Tullamarine, the other airport that runs in Melbourne. Now, I made a mistake when I came down here the first time I came down here of taking the turn-off for Avalon Airport, but I don't do that to get to Avalon Beach. I go past that to the Lara exit, which is the next exit. So we're going to do that. I've got myself a coffee, which is terrific and necessary as well. You might not know it, but YouTube runs a coffee. And it was really weird because I went into the roadhouse to get my espresso, and I said double shot espresso, as one does. And the lady said, "That's the little one, isn't it?" I think she maybe knew her job. And the other lady said, "Yeah, take that one." I'm not sure you should work at a cafe if you don't know what an espresso is. Now, I wish her well. I hope she does well with what she's doing. We're just passing the Avalon Airport turn off now. But, didn't know what an espresso was. And then when she handed it to me, she said, "Oh, take care of it, it's a little one." This is the way coffee should be. It's like drinking a shot of whiskey. You have it in the purest form. You don't have any cow juice in it, you don't have any sugar in it. It's all natural bean juice. And I really like that. It's the way I've drunk coffee for decades now. I used to drink it with milk and sugar and all that kind of stuff. But I kind of weaned myself off sugar. And I'll tell you how I did it. The way to wean yourself off sugar in coffee is you go to a Chinese supermarket and you get some maltose, which is like syrup, but it's actually a different sugar. It's a malt-based sugar. And you put that in your coffee for a while. It's a bit awkward to do. But you do that, and maltose isn't as addictive as sucrose, the sugar in sugar. And so you have maltose in it for a while, and after a while you lose the addiction to sugar, and you can have your coffee without sugar. Now, artificial sweeteners I don't like the taste of. I've got a real sensitivity to aspartame, and if I have artificial sweeteners, the taste lingers in my mouth for hours, which not what I want. And so I don't tend to drink sweet drinks at all. I'll drink water or I'll drink mineral water, but I won't have sweet drinks as a rule. Occasionally I'll indulge in like a can of Japanese sweetened coffee, but it's only usually about this big. But as a rule I don't do it. And I found a way to kind of hack my system with maltose many moons ago. I was like 20 when I did, to avoid that. And I also saved myself some money on sugar. So all good. I got my coffee and we're just about to go to the Lara turnoff to head down to Avalon Beach, which is a weird place. It's a beach that's in between two bodies of water, one of which is the bay and the other one of which is just like a swamp in a sense. And people don't know about this. And the buildings there are a whole bunch of old shacks there. It looks like you've gone back into the 20th century. Really weird place, but I like it. I like all kind of liminal spaces in things, the same way I like Campbell Cove, which is in one of my earlier videos. I just love the way these spaces exist, but most people just don't know about them. So I've just taken the Lara turn-off. We've got Avalon Beach on the left. You go to Geelong or Lara if you go to the right. And most people are going to go to Lara, which is one of the outer suburbs of Geelong. But I ain't. got a pretty busy day because after I do this, I'm going to the gym. And yes, I'm trying to go to the gym to get fitter. And so I've got a gym session after this. And then later today, I've got to do another video where I'm going to be doing a movie haul. And I like doing movie haul videos. I've got a big box full of movies, some of which are new, some of which are movies I got cheaply. By the way, there's a sign up here saying kangaroos, so you've got to watch out for kangaroos. Good thing about watching out for kangaroos is kangaroos are crepuscular. They only really show up on roads in the evenings and the mornings. Now, this is a little late in the morning for kangaroos. I have seen them on the road at this time of day, so I've just got to keep my eyes open for this. Mostly around here, you don't get big kangaroos. You get swamp wallabies and the smaller species. Just gone past that smoke burn off. And it looks like they're doing road works up ahead, so I better slow down. Yeah, this is a farming area heading down, and there's also a very posh school on the bay. And you'll see the entrance to that on the right. Give this guy a wave. No, wait, his back's turned. But it's nicely doing the roads up anyway. As we get down towards Avalon Beach, the roads are going to get a little rougher. So you'll see the camera jiggle a bit, particularly the forward-facing one, which is my Panasonic Lumix camera. It's a ruggedized camera. It's a big chunky bugger. And the cool thing about it is you can chuck it in the water and it will keep taking video as far down as about 100 feet in old school measurements. So it's ruggedized. You can accidentally drop it. It does 4K video at 30 frames a second, which is what I want. I always recorded 4K 30. And it doesn't have much in the way of lenses and things. It's got very much a fixed lens. But it's okay if you're doing, say, urban work. If you want to do like street photography, it's not a bad little stick it in your bag camera to do that. And I've got an urge to do more street photography at some stage. I like it. I know how to tweak the video nicely. Sorry, the photograph nicely. And do that. So it's not terribly far to get to the beach here. And there's some guys doing some work on the overheads. And it says no through road, and indeed it is no through road because it ends just the other side of the beach. Good. And the road, as you can see, goes down to one lane here, which often happens out this way. They don't bother with two-lane roads. You just got to pull off to one side if there's a car coming the other way. It happens like that. Nice time of day for it too. It's not quite golden hour, but there's still a little bit of the long shadows and things. What temperature is it? We've got up to 11 degrees so far, which I like. If it was 21 degrees, I'd be happier. But that's just the way it goes at this time of year. I'm going to do some more of these little chats and drive things when the weather gets warmer and it gets nicer. I do want to do the Great Ocean Road because the Great Ocean Road is a hell of a drive. It's one of the great drives of Australia along the cliff coastline, southwest of Melbourne. Fantastic. I could do it in a day trip. If I got there really early, you'd probably see some kangaroos on the road, but not likely because I don't want to get up that early. But yeah, so we're heading, as you can see, the land is dead flat here, and it kind of phases into swampland, literal swampland on the coastal part. You might see on the left the start of the buildings for Avalon Beach. But yeah, nobody knows about this. It's got a boat ramp and a place to park your trailer and things like that. But very, very few people know this place. And it's crazy that they don't. I suppose if they did, they'd build it up and put apartments here and all sorts of shit like that, which nobody wants. Here's the entrance to the posh school here on the right with the posh gates. It heads down towards the, what's it called? Avalon College. Here we go, off the bitumen onto the dirt road, which is not too bad for these dirt roads. And off to my right, which you can't see on the camera unfortunately, is the city of Geelong. It's looking quite good. Like I said, it's a nice day for this. And there's also some canola fields off to the right as well, where they grow canola plants for making oil. It says, see, no overtaking on bridge. We've got this really narrow bridge here, and I wouldn't try overtaking on it anyway. So we're going across this bridge, which is sketchy as hell. And you can see there's some of the water. Now this is tidal here. I'll put down my thing so you might be able, hang on, I'll put it up and I'll bear the brunt of the sun glaring in my eyes so you can see me as well as the other thing. And we cruise around here. That's a little part of the inlets there. And the road just goes between the water. And up ahead at the front of us, you can see Port Phillip Bay. Or maybe Corio Bay when we're this far south. Now I'll just do a circuit at the boat ramp. There it is there. So you can see that. Lots of boat parking here. Posh school in the distance. Up ahead, straight ahead, you can see some bumps. That's the Yang Hills. And if I go straight ahead here, you should see the little shacks along Avalon Beach, which are very cool. Some of them are inhabited full time, some of them are weekenders, but they're really old school 20th century shacks. And there are a lot of potholes on this road, hence the sound effects you're getting. But I really love places like this, which are unknown. They're just, you know, they haven't been hit by developers, they haven't been hit by people who want to just turn things back into the natural countryside. They're still places where people live. They've still got a little community. It's really, really rare that these places come up for sale because the people who live here or own them are so in love with them that they never move. And if you have a look here on the, I'm going to go down here, have a look at the giant crab on the side of that place. You might see it with the sun glare, but there's a big crab someone's put on the side of that shack, which is very cool. Actually, it's a lobster. I was wrong, it's a lobster. So yeah, somebody's put an Australian flag up, which is, here in Australia, is usually an indication of somebody being really racist. People who are racist don't put the flag up here. They might put other flags for their, ethnicity and things like that, but they don't tend to put flags up as a rule. Now, if we go up here, I'm going to chuck a U-turn because I tried to drive further up, but the road turns into a track. Now, technically, I could drive up there, pointing the car in that direction, all the way around to the point over here on the right, which is about 1 kilometre away. But it's sketchy enough that if I was to drive up there, I would have a problem with, if I can't go any further, I'd have to back up for 1 kilometre on a narrow dirt road between two bodies of water. I don't want to do that. But I will chuck a Yui here, and you can see the other side of things. You look straight ahead there. Across the bay, you can see the city of Geelong. Nice town. We're actually going up there in about a week or two's time. A friend of ours is staying there for a few days. We're going to go and have breakfast with her. And, it's a really nice and odd little place, Avalon Beach. And I kind of love it. I've lived around where I live, not too far away, for almost a quarter of a century. Knew nothing about this, even though it's like a 20-minute drive from home. More bumps. But yeah, really fascinating place. there's a pothole I just went over where the locals have put pebbles in it to try to fill up the pothole, which is kind of sweet. And I'm going to get a lot more bumps here as I go here. But these places are just fascinating. Some of them have solar panels. They all have electricity wired to them, as you can see. But they don't have water supply. So they've all got water tanks out the back and they get water from the roof and things like that. So unless you get water in yourself, it's a little bit hard to get water. I like the idea it says slow down, like you're going to go over this road at any great speed. Though I suppose you could. If I was going to make an action film, I would do a car chase along this part, just because it's such a cool place and it looks so different than anything else around. And then you take the car chase up to the Yangs and have people fanging around the country roads there. But yeah, I really have a growing love for little places like this, which are out of the way, unknown, and unashamedly and completely working class. They're not the kind of place you're ever going to find a posh person. And now we're back on the road, heading out of Avalon Beach. If the tide was in, you get water all the way up on both sides, but at the moment the tide's out. But this is the stuff I love doing when I'm not making videos about movies. Maybe I should be a location scout for the region for film companies. Hit me up if you need some locations, if you're a filmmaker in Australia. And I will take you around and we'll find some weird and wonderful stuff here. But it's good to get out. I've got the windows wound up and the heating on because it's bloody cold out there. And also you get more noise come in when I'm recording the audio. But I usually clean up the audio anyway. But yesterday I got a big delivery. Imprint Vision sent me a box full of stuff, which is their August releases. And there's some really good stuff in it. There's a whole bunch of movies with Harvey Keitel. They're doing like 90s movies for this month. And there's a whole bunch of movies I may have seen on VHS back in the day or just didn't see. There's a box set of Harvey Keitel. There's a whole bunch of other thrillers in there. It's a really interesting month for Imprint Vision. And because of the way things go, when I put the order in, they send me a Google Doc. And I tick off what I want and I'll put in my address and things like that. And then they send me review copies of things. But particularly with Imprint Vision, they don't often tell you what they're sending. So there's a little bit of a kind of Christmas present aspect to it, where they don't tell you what they're sending you, but you get it. And this time around they sent me everything. And that's kind of wild. And I like that. And if you're watching Imprint Vision, keep doing it. I mean, I love getting these movies. I love the fact that a lot of them are movies I don't particularly know, and that I'm expanding my horizons as not only a kind of half-assed amateur cinema historian, but as somebody who likes movies. So I've got to watch all of them before I review that box set, which I'll be doing on the live stream on Monday, because the live stream gives me enough time to review all of the movies. And there are, let's see, 5, 6, 7, about 10 movies in that box set. So I've got 6 days to watch 10 movies. And I've also I'm busy today and tomorrow. Today I've got the gym, as I said, and other things. I've got to record and edit and upload and schedule a video, because I always leave things to the last minute. And tomorrow in the evening, I'm actually giving a talk at a science fiction discussion group called the Nova Mob, which has been going since, the 1960s. And I'm doing a talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I've got all of that written. I've got everything ready for that. But I've just got to go down to Kensington tomorrow evening. I'm going to have dinner with the people. And then they're all going to listen to me talk about the history and the backstory of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which goes back a long way. And then what I'm going to do is that talk I'm doing for the Nova Mob, I'm also going to basically turn it into my Saturday video. I'm not going to record while I'm there, but I've got the script that I did for the Nova Mob, and I'm going to use that as the basis for the Saturday video, where I talk about pretty much the history of Marvel and how weird it was at the start, how it evolved, and a lot of things about how the Marvel Cinematic Universe has done something nobody else has done in cinema history. So here we are, coming back to the roadworks again. Oh good, there are trees blocking out that bright sunshine once. And the guy says stop, so I'm going to stop. Because it's usually a lady, so I think it's a lady. Could be wrong. I don't know their gender. But with this kind of thing in the roads that we have here in Australia, it's always good to give the person holding the sign a wave as you go past. It's just a friendly thing that we do. It's time for another sip of espresso, I suppose. Sorry for the gross noises, but I just had to neck down that espresso. It's not a very good one. Roadhouse coffees are never very good. And they're trying to talk to people at the other end on their walkie-talkies to find out whether I can go through. That'd be a cool job. You get out in the open air. You get to stand around with a sign and just talk to people. I'm sure they do other things as well. But it's the kind of job I could do where I'm doing jobs again. I think they're looking at me occasionally to see whether I'm getting impatient, which I'm not. I've got tons of time. It's only 9 o'clock now. I'll be up at the gym by 9:30, which is about usual time. And we'll just see how this goes. And if I'm here for hours, you're going to have to sit through it with me, okay? I need the company. Just go with a thumbs up. There's people coming down the other way. And I'm getting a large cement truck behind me, which is kind of interesting. Hopefully it won't barrel through and take out this guy in the sedan, but you never know. Worst things have happened. If it does happen, this video will go viral, which is not a bad thing for the channel. Speaking of which, the channel's doing really well at the moment. I'm getting lots of views, I'm getting lots of comments. I'm getting new subscribers at a rate I haven't had before. And the goal is to try to get to 25,000 within a year. At the moment, I'm at about 13,400. But we'll see how we go. And thank you to everybody who subscribes and who watches the videos. The views are crazy. I think the last time I looked, in the last 28 days, the videos on the channel, and there are a lot of them, got somewhere around 116,000 views, which is mind-boggling. And that's just in a month. So I'm kind of blown away by that. Big B double trot going past. And it's it gets to the stage where the numbers aren't numbers that you can encompass in your brain. The human brain can't really envision 13,000 people all at once unless you see 13,000 people. But it's wonderful. It's great that it's happening. And I'm very, very grateful. I think I might end things here on that wonderfully optimistic note while I've got a chance to. I'm going to turn off my mic, and you guys have a good day. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, become a patron at patreon.com/TerryTalksMovies. I'll catch you next time.